On DC Music Rocks, we're shining a spotlight on the great songs, artists, and incredible people behind the DC region's local music scene. The Fringe Benefits is a 5-piece band based in Gainesville, Virginia, featuring drums, guitar, bass, guitar, synth, and vocalists, and 5 vocalists. I mean, everybody sings. It sounds like we got Juliana Smith, who's lead vocalist, has a big, powerful, and soulful voice that makes the band's recordings instantly recognizable. They were born in 2013. The band performs regularly around Northern Virginia, and they play original music and creatively mash up covers of songs from the 80s to today. So I first came across them when I was doing the show a while back, and I've been a Fringe Benefits band. They came out with some of their the album Step Out came out, and I've just been following them, and I love the stuff that you're doing. So it basically, for me, being the fanboy, it's an honor to have you here, man. Bruce, and Dave, thanks for coming down, guys. Thanks for being here.
It's an honor to be here, Brian, and I got to tell you, the things that you're doing for the local music scene, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like you're the Paul Schaefer of Northern Virginia music. You know everybody now.
Wait, if they don't know who Paul Schaefer is, who's Paul Schaefer?
He's the guy that knows everybody in the music business. And actually performed with everybody from James Brown to Aretha Franklin to on and on,
Yeah, okay. Well, now I take that as a compliment then. Holy smokes. I like to say I know of them. I don't know them all yet, but I'm trying. I'm trying. Thanks, Bruce. I appreciate that, man. So now, what is it that makes the Fringe Benefits special? That's what I want to know off the bat.
I don't think this was on the list.
What is it that, I mean, there's a lot of bands out there, so what is it that makes a Fringe Benefits show or the Fringe Benefits a little different from the others?
Yeah, so I would say it's really stage presence. I mean, the covers consist of the core of the show, and we do the original songs as, kind of self-promotion and give us something unique, but really I would say is Juliana's stage presence. We had, we used to have, different ones of us singing lead vocal. And, when you're singing to the people in the audience, they're looking at you, and you make eye contact. Yep. So a year ago, John said, I'm singing lead vocal in this song. Nobody's looking at me. Everybody's looking at Juliana. And I said, well, dude, I'm not going to tell her to cut her stage presence. You got to increase your stage presence. You got to
step it up, buddy.
Yeah, you got to step it up. So, and we have, and so it's happening. But yeah, we go from song to song. We play popular, songs that people know and enjoy, and we mix in a couple of originals. And but I think it's the stage presence. We do have a little bit different instrumentation. I'm sure you have some listeners out there that are musicians. I'm playing guitar synth. So while you see me play guitar, you hear piano, organ, saxophone, different instruments, and I do all that live. There's no track. Every note is played.
That's amazing. And Dave, you're here with us too. Now talk about what do you think is special. You're working with the band. You're doing some of the booking too. So talk about what you do, and then talk about what do you think makes Fringe Benefits a little different. Why are you booking for them?
Sure. Well, I like to work with them because they're just all about having fun, and the music industry can be kind of crazy, and it can be hard to get gigs, and how to get motivated to go out and knock on doors and make phone calls and send emails, and it's really just working for these guys has been a privilege because I see just how much fun they have playing and how much fun their fans have coming out and dancing and just grooving to their music all night long. I think that goes a really long way to have a group of people that are like good friends that enjoy each other's company, and they just have a lot of fun. So
you really get 3 aspects of playing the music. You get the gigs, the music, and then the relationships. And we take advantage and have fun with all that. But as you talk about having fun, this is in a big contrast to one of your artists that you played earlier. They're all political. We have nothing political in what we're doing unless it's in a popular cover too it's not us saying it.
True. And actually, honestly, that's one of the great things that I love about the DC scene too, is that you really get everything. If you want political, you got it. If people sing about what's close to their heart, and if you're writing a song about Step Out, which is about your friends that are coming out, and one of your other songs might be about something else that happened to you. And for some people, this is how they air their political frustrations, and for others, it's where you get your inspiration from, and it changes every time. So
beautiful.
It's a cool thing. Now, talk about, where does the name come from? The Fringe Benefits. What's the story there?
So my version of the story is we were coming together long about the time Obamacare was coming in, and it was my belief that no one could afford health insurance for their employees. So they maybe could provide some fringe benefits, and maybe one of those could be having the fringe benefits ban at the company party.
So I'd like to point out that you just talked about how you weren't political, and yet that's the story of your name, Bruce.
Well, I didn't ask the question.
That's funny.
Well, there's nothing wrong with having fringe benefits, right?
That darn right. I enjoy fringe benefits. Fringe benefits are nice, so that's...
Yeah, I get dinged for that one, okay.
Yeah. I just didn't call you out there for a second, because that's really funny. All right, so... And now, your connection to the DC scene? How long have you guys both been in the DC area, and what part of the area?
So I've been here and gone and come back. So I went to high school, Jeb Stewart, Oakton. We're on Wilson Boulevard now. So down at Seven Corners, the Eaton Center was Lafayette Radio, and I worked there. During the CB boom, a lot of people don't realize this, but the CB boom that went nationwide started in that store, and I was a witness to it, so it's pretty cool. But now I've been living in Manassas for 20 years. So.
Got it. What about you, Dave?
I grew up in Great Falls and went to Langley High School. My first concert, I remember, was at the Patriot Center, and it was with the Deftones, Incubus, and Taproot. And I just remember just having the time of my life, and I knew from then on music was, a passion of mine.
Yep, absolutely. God, I love it. And so now, and Bruce, what's you brought up memory with music. Bruce, what's your earliest memory with music?
So I think this is a pretty cool story. So one of the kids in the neighborhood got a Sears Silvertone acoustic guitar. Mm-hmm. And one of the other kids came up and said, hey, Ed's got a guitar. We got to go check it out. So we went over to Ed's house, and we were pulling the guitar out of each other's hands, playing the lick from "Dirty Water." It was a hit song by the Standells, and so that was my earliest memory. Well, about 5 years ago, I had a beer with the bass player of the Standells. So,
really? Oh my God, that's
pretty
amazing.
cool. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man, that must have been wild. Oh goodness. And now, what about? And while we're on the topic of moments in history here, talk about the funniest moment for the band. What comes to mind?
Two years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we dressed up for Halloween. We wanted to do Dead Rock Stars. I did Elvis, and many of you may know that Elvis died on the toilet, and so at the end of my choreographed Heartbreak Hotel, there's a turd on the stage. Juliana said, I'm not going up there."
Oh, that's awful. Oh man.
So we had a good laugh over that.
What did you do?
Well, actually, one of our friends picked it up and pretended to eat it, so that was it.
Oh God! Oh, yeah. This was supposed to be funny.
And you know who you are.
Oh my God! That's unbelievable. All right. Wow. All right. So when we're not talking about the music stuff, then, so on the personal side, talk about your hobbies and interests. What do you guys do outside of the music? Bruce, you first.
Okay, so the music is like a therapy for me, and kind of powers me for everything else I do. And so, my day job is internet advertising, but I also have a company where I do software for printing companies. Then community service stuff. I serve on the board of the Prince William Chamber of Commerce and the Center for the Arts at the Candy Factory in Manassas. I'm a member of the Manassas Rotary Club, and as a band, actually, the Fringe Benefits have cooked for the homeless a couple times at the Surf Shelter in Manassas, and we've signed us up to do that again. So we're having a lot of fun just doing stuff for other people.
Yeah, community service stuff. I like that, Bruce. Dave, what about you?
I'm actually big into gardening. So,
Really?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I'm on 5 acres and just planting fruit trees and vegetables, and we got chickens, and I'm just big into that and just connecting with nature and going hiking and traveling. I just got back from Costa Rica.
Ooh,
Was there
Costa
for 2
Rica.
weeks, and
Nice.
it's an amazing place. I highly suggest it.
That's cool. All right, lots of stuff going on outside. And now, I guess to tag on to that, then, so if let's say it's the weekend and you got nothing on the schedule, you actually have open time, what would you do? If it's like Saturday, Sunday, and you don't have anything on the schedule, what would you do?
Me, I'm working.
What does that mean? For one of the companies, or for?
Yeah, for doing ads for clients, or or either I'm goofing off. Actually, last weekend what I did was I'm working on new technology for the guitar set. So, that's a fun thing.
That's right. Yeah, you guitar synth. That's the thing. What about you, Dave? What would you do? You had a weekend off.
I will literally be in my garden at like midnight, like pulling out weeds and planting stuff. I'll have my headlamp on and.
Oh my God, those amazing headlamps! Oh, yeah, I just had the most. You have to see a picture that I took a selfie with him so you could see him, and I'm just envisioning him with a headlamp on at midnight. Oh, that's really funny. I love it.
Oh,
Gardening, gardening's a thing. I love it. Okay,
Very therapeutic.
cool. Well, and this question's to both of you guys. This is one of my favorite questions to ask in these interviews. Is if you could offer one piece of advice, what would it be? And I want to hear from both of you actually. So, Dave, why don't you go first?
So, piece of advice for bands, correct?
It's up to you. You can offer whatever piece of advice
Okay.
to whoever you want.
Well, I mean, the first piece of advice would be to have fun, like we talked about with the Fringe benefits. I mean, that's just so important. If you're going to be in a band, you're going to be committed to, being with these set of people and practicing and going to shows and be committed to this. Have fun and pick people that you're going to get along with. And then practice, really prepare yourself for the gigs, get your songs down, your set list, and know what direction you want to go in. Have a clear vision, have a plan.
Yeah.
And then execute it. Go out, get gigs, get a booking agent, someone that's going to represent you.
What's the best way to get a booking agent? Do you just reach out?
Yeah, you could give me a call.
Yeah, there you go. All right, go ahead and say your name is.
My name is Dave Mascatello.
And how do they find you?
Planetary Music's my company. You can go on planetaryband.com. I just bought a new domain. It's going to be planetarymusic.com, which I'm now building. But Facebook's great. Anyway, Planetary Music.
Got it.
But
Okay.
there's plenty of agents, and you could find some great managers in the area. And, a manager, if you're an original band, is really important because they'll help you, manage your day-to-day stuff and get in the right recording studio and, get into interviews like this. I think
There you go.
a band called
Yep.
Footwork that needs to get out here.
Oh, there it is. Shout out to it. Yes, please do welcome
I'll call
Footwork
them.
whenever they want to come on. I would love to have them because Footwork's a great hip hop. I love the hip hop scene in DC, and man, Footwork is one of the early ones I found, and I love them. So that'd be cool.
They're about
Anyway.
to go on tour in April. But anyway, back to the advice. Promote your shows.
Yep.
Definitely promote your shows. It's
Got it.
huge. Venues, yes, they're going to do their part. Bands got to do their part.
And Bruce, what about you, man? One piece of advice.
So on the fun side, it's never go to a radio interview unprepared.
Public service announcement. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that. And the man is prepared. I give him credit. He's got notes in front of him right now. This man is ready. So I love it. I truly appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. That's good. And all right, so now, and one more time, now for those folks who want to find and follow more about the Fringe benefits and the things you're doing and where you're playing and all that stuff, where do they go?
TheFringeBenefitsBand.com.